All right, people. I want to do my first discussion, right? And I kind of wanted to like framework the conversation to give us a starting point. And I was thinking about the Declaration of Independence. And in the Declaration of Independence, it says that we have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life meaning to live, no one to threaten or take your life. Life, the right to liberty, the ability to be free, to do as we please, as long as we don't encroach on anyone else's liberty or civil rights. And the pursuit of happiness, the ability to pursue our dreams, right? And what struck me as odd, and I thought about it, why didn't the framers of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution say that you have the right to life, liberty, and happiness? Why is it the pursuit of happiness? Why is it that you have to chase after being happy? And what it is that in our system of economics and governance, is that they designed it to be a challenge to figure out, which most people would not be able to figure out how this system of ours works. Um, so, for those who are trying to come up or change their condition, it is a pursuit, it is a chase, it is a struggle to do so based off of how our system works as of today. So I just thought that was very interesting that they chose the words life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness versus just happiness. Meaning that, hey, you have a right to life, you have a right to liberty, but you don't necessarily have a right to happiness. You know, that the happiness that you want that's tied to your monetary and physical possessions had to be chased after. In sociology, you have a term called social stratification, meaning for a certain segment of the population, that whatever class that you're born into, that your children would most likely stay in that class, and that you would, live and die in that class. So you had the poor, which most likely you're going to be poor, you're going to die poor, and your children are going to stay in that same condition. You have the working class, whereas you're going to be born in the working class, and then you'll live and die in working class. Then you have middle class, and with the middle class, whatever, there's opportunity to transition into upper class. Because middle class people are like your lawyers, your doctors, your politicians, um, and they are the people that make anywhere from $700,000 to a few million. That's really middle class people and everything. And they have the ability to transition from middle class to upper class, and from upper class to upper class. But people that are in the working class, pink collar jobs, which is like female jobs, nursing, stuff like that. That's what they call it in sociological terms. And the poor, most likely they are going to die, and uh, children are going to live in that condition with no change, and that's really kind of sad. And our system was designed to be that way. Um, so, you know, being in America and playing this money game is just like playing Monopoly. And understand, you don't have to have all the money in the world to live comfortably and to be happy, but you have to have enough money to be able to take care of your day to day needs and have additional for whatever else that you want or would like to do. And that's kind of hard living in this world. It's going to take real money management uh, discipline to actually overcome this situation, so that you can, have the happiness that you want, because if you crafted the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, you are already in a place of comfort and status. They were already there. They already had the happiness. And the people that were born out of those generations of the forefathers, or whatever, they didn't have to pursue the happiness, whatever. It was their place before them. And that's why you have the rich hoarding all of the wealth, so that there is no pursuit. It's just a game. To stay in the game, to try to make more money, try to develop different ways to, extort money out of the system and hold it for yourself and your family. Um, so if we look at this right here, right, this is a pyramid. which most people use to describe our economy and the difference between the poor and the rich, right? And so you have here uh, the 1%. See, 1%. The little eye, little rays coming out of it. The Illuminati people, your Bilderberg people, and all the rest of them. And so they represent the 1%, right? And then you have the additional 10%, because 10% of the U.S. population is controlled. Excuse me, you know, the majority of the U.S. the majority of the U.S. economy is controlled by 10% of the population. So you have here, right? I got this from the U.S. Census of 2015. That's kind of rounded the numbers off. So you have 320 million Americans here in the United States. Okay, 320 million people here in the United States. Of that 320 million, 1% of that is 3,200,000 people that make up the 1%. So you can do the math about how many people are still out there that, make up the rest. And then you have the 10%, which is equal to 32 million people. So 32 million people make up the other 9% of people who control the economy of this country, right? So you have the 1% and 10%, the top of the apex. All right, then we come over here, right? And I got this from, I can't remember where I got this from, right? But the economy, GDP, gross domestic product was $17 trillion. So 40% of our economy is controlled by the 1%. So that means the 1% controls $6.8 trillion of our economy. 3,200,000 people control $6.8 trillion. Think about it. That's like 12 zeros. So then you take a total of 10%. 10% of the populace, which is 32 million, control 90% of our economy. That's $15 trillion in the hands of 32 million people. It's a lot of money in the hands of a few people. That means that there's over 200 like 80 million people, that's not included in this group. Then we move over here, right? I got this from the Social Security Administration, right? It says here 71% earn less than $50,000 a year. So 71% of the population earns less than $50,000 a year. So, do the math. 171% of 320 million people earn less than $50,000 a year. Understand what I'm saying? You know, then you have here 51% earn less than $30,000 a year. Think about it now. 31% earn, forgive me. 51% earn less than $30,000 a year. So all the money is at the top. And that's the problem or issue with our economy, because the money is being hoarded, so the money is not circulating through the system as it should be. So this is what's happening and what's going on, right? Let me flip the page over here, right? Okay. So this here is the actual upside down triangle inverted, and I put up here American people and economy. And see, you got the 10% down here. This is where all the money's at, right here, right? And Everything else is right here. All right. So that's why I had the two lines here, because this here is going to teeter one way or the other eventually. Because you can't have it all down here, because they're not going to keep the economy going as it needs to be all throughout here. With businesses and stores and restaurants and things of that nature. You know, houses and apartments. And I'm going a certain place with that. So eventually, this is going to teeter and fall in one way or the other due to something that happens. Where this is what our economy should look like. It should look like this right here. Not redistribution of income, but distribution of income. See that? It still has a triangle form to it, but the base is more flat, meaning that more of the wealth that's up here, the money that's up here, has been moved down here, meaning that you're paying your people better, you're providing no benefits, no health care, uh, retirement or whatever. And see, but up here, you still have majority of wealth, and you're still living at the top of the apex. You still have more than people down here, but you're just distributing more of it to them to give balance to, your nation and your economy. And that's what we need. But the way our system is designed, which I'll talk about in our next segment, and what you need to start doing, to try to fix that for yourself. 'Cause we can't fix this here. We're never going to change. Understand? We're never going to change this here into this. Because it's always going to be this here until it actually teeters and falls. Um, but this is how it should look, and this is more stable here. It's a solid level foundation. That's not level. So, but if they were to distribute the wealth more, then it would be more balanced. It would mean that it would mean a number of things, but I'm going to go into that in my next video or whatever. But this is pretty much what you're facing. And you go get that job for $30,000 or whatever. You think you've done something, you know. I guess you're better than 51% of the population or whatever. But when you look at $30,000 equals about wow, about $800-900 every 2 weeks. You think about it, for a decent apartment like a new apartment is $800 to $900 a month. So it's really not enough to live off of if you factor in, a house, a car, and other things. So this, I just wanted to bring this to you guys. The next video I'm going to get into, uh, what this is and how we can work in this situation here, and it's going to deal with money versus credit and how they work interchangeably or whatever, and which one is more important. I'm pretty sure you guys kind of already know that or whatever, but if not, then I'll go through and re-emphasize it. Um, but yeah, this is what it should look like, you know. But what it is that up here they won't have as much, and they're not happy with that. You know, they want this to be extreme. You know, so uh, that's all I have for today. Hope it kind of put a framework in your mind as to what's going on. What you're up against. What the numbers are. And we'll get into this credit and money thing on the next video. And that next video will probably be a little bit more longer, because I'm really gonna go in and discuss what I see. And with everybody who has a question about me or whatever, I'll tell you that I'm a college graduate. Um, Also, I worked in banking for actual bank. So I dealt with checking, savings accounts, credit card accounts, a little bit, with home mortgages, refinances or whatever. I didn't actually do that. I kind of worked in conjunction with those departments, whatever. I worked for Walmart, the largest retailer in the world. I see how they operate, and everything is strategic, even from how they place the items inside the store to what they put on the aisles or what they put on the end caps to draw you into the aisle, while they put the meat and dairy products in the back. So you go past all the other departments to hopefully buy something else. But we'll get into more of that, as we go forward, whatever. But that's a little bit about myself. I'll tell you more as time goes on. So peace. Take care. God bless.